Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
So how many of you are worried about your brain? I mean, listen, I'm worried about my brain. I'm worried about my health. I want to live longer. I got to do a lot of things, but I don't seem to take the time. I don't even sleep that I'm supposed to sleep at the same time. But I had a real privilege meeting a very special woman, Tiger Stout. And Tiger, yes, that's her name, Tiger. And she is a tiger. That name really was appropriate for her. But I had the pleasure of going to this BrainHealth Club and meeting Tiger. And what they are doing there is beyond belief. And so we said, why don't you start working with us and see how many people we can put into your program. So, Tiger, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Anita.
You know, you are. And you're so happy about all this. We were just talking a few minutes ago, and Tiger has always been into exercise and getting the body the best it can be. But as she said, the brain is kind of a new area. It's a new area for a lot of people. And they found you, actually. But you love this because it's opening up your brain to a lot of new things, right?
Absolutely. For so many years, it was the heart. Everything was based on the heart health. And what's good for the heart is good for the body. Well, now it's the brain. And so what's good for the brain is good for the heart, it's good for the body. So it's a trifecta, and that's what we do at the BrainHealth Club.
And you have really surrounded yourself with very smart people. So tell us let's start with some of the professionals that you work with.
We have an extensive scientific advisory board. The whole program was developed based on a program out of Boston Medical Institute. And we developed our program with a local scientific advisory board based on a neurologist, a neuroscience psychologist, and then several nutritional coaching experts specifically related to memory loss due to Alzheimer's and dementia.
Well, when we say that, though, a lot of people that are having problems with their brain, it doesn't necessarily mean it's Alzheimer's or dementia. And we were talking about that if they're not getting the right nutrition and they're not getting other kinds of things, it can affect their brain, and then people just put it aside. So, it's that. And that's not true.
Absolutely. A lot of people just chalk it up to old age and don't do anything about it. There's actually not a lot of there's a lot of resource out there and a lot of blogs to let you know what you can do, but there's no place where you can implement it. The BrainHealth Club is literally the only place of its kind where we provide resources for brain health as well as being able to implement those resources.
And my guest is this beautiful young woman who is Stout. Excuse me, the first name's Tiger Stout. And she's an exercise physiologist, but she's director of the whole program at the BrainHealth Club. And I must mention Dr. Carl Sadowski, because I remember Dr. Sadowski was very early in working with people with stroke and with Alzheimer's, and he is the director of research at Premier Research Institute. So one time we will have him on the radio show also. But getting back to this, maybe the best way to do this, Tiger, is someone calls you and they say, I heard about, your health club. And you know what, before I do that, I want to mention about the program that you're having. I want to see if some people want to come. So let me just say that. So mark your calendars, and we're going to tell you a lot more, but mark your calendars on Thursday, August the 3rd. Thursday, August the 3rd from 5 to 7, you're going to be able to come to see what goes on. It's at the Morse Life Health System up in West Palm Beach. And I'm going to give you a phone number that you can call, and they'll help with directions. Remember, it's Pencil Talk Radio, so get your pencils out and write this number down, 1-888-646-3496. Again, 1-888-646-3496. And seating's limited, so you do want to come to this open house. Okay, let's go back to what I just said. So now someone calls, and they're very interested. They heard about the BrainHealth Club. What are you going to tell them, and what are you going to do once they come? Just give us a whole, a virtual tour.
Well, that's the thing. We are a preventative and maintenance program for memory loss due to Alzheimer's, dementia, and just aging in general. So we will invite you to come in, tour the studio. We'll give you a very in-depth tour an overview of the initial steps that it takes to become a member of the BrainHealth Club. We'll even throw in a week free trial to see if you work well with the program and if it works out for your schedule. So,
yeah, well, that's very nice of you to do it. And I guess you do it because it's a little bit different. So people maybe are a little bit hesitant about doing things. Yes. But then, of course, once they meet you, you're so positive and enthusiastic, it'll be good. But I know that you've talked about, when we were first talking, that you've had some people. I mean, it's a fairly new program. You've been on for how many months?
About 4.5 months open.
And in that time, you have seen tremendous progress with some people. Tell us about a particular person with no names, just what it was like.
Amazing progress. One particular member I have in mind is one that I did not want to take on. Like I said, I have had the patients, and I've been in senior health care for over 10 years. And part of the reason why I didn't want to take him on was because I didn't want to disappoint him. And the neurologist that you mentioned, Dr. Sadowski, we had a talk, and he said, look, he's one of my patients. He's got one heck of a mindset. He's strong-willed. Take him on. Let's see what we can do in 3 months. So we took him on. He came in a wheelchair, and I've got him to the point in 3.5 months with all 6 pillars of the Brain Health program: nutritional, social activity, physical exercise, brain training exercises, and metabolic vascular risk factors, and sleep, health, and stress. So maintaining all of those 6 factors, I've got him actually up walking to the exercise machines and walking at home. His wife has stressed how happy she is that we have changed his mood. His depression level is almost gone. He's so much more alive, and that's what we want to do, is provide that hope and that motivation to get the help that so many of our seniors need.
So let's move back to that. Let's move back to him a minute. So he had some problems, apparently. He
had a stroke a year prior to, and he will actually tell you, he's going to be one of our guest speakers at our open house, and he will actually tell you he's been to numerous PT therapies, numerous research studies after he had the stroke to get him back on track. This, by far, has helped him the most.
So when he found this place, I guess he was a patient of Dr. Sadowski, and did he have hesitation? I mean, did he fight you about, come on, you have to do this?
Let me tell you, when he strolled into the studio, the look on his face was just another PT, was just another, I'm just another number, this is just another facility, and there's no hope. And now he strolls in there with this biggest smile and the largest amount of hope in his eyes. And I mean, we go back and forth, and he's one of my favorite members.
And so what you're really saying is that it was the motivation that you somehow, because of the program, the way you've developed it, the way you are, of course, I can see you're very motivating. So you're hoping that other people will come. People, do they all have to have serious situations as his?
No, absolutely not. And that's what we want to let people know, is that we want to work with the worried well. The active aging that
wait. You call it the worried well? I never heard that before. I love that. They're worried, right?
They're worried. I'm worried, you know? So I'm well, but I'm worried about my brain health. You are well, but you're worried about your brain health. Absolutely. So that's what we...
well. I never... Thank you. I've got it.
It's a great term, right?
I love it.
So, yes, we want to work with the worried well as the MCIs, the mild cognitive impairment. So our program is developed to work with both aspects.
I'm writing that word down. I got to use that in
worried well.
I love the worried well. I never heard that. So you're really looking for people in general who are getting older. They could be 65, they could be 85, who really want someone to say, they'll look at you and say, so help me, right? And they don't know what to do, right?
Absolutely.
And so how will you start? What would you do?
We start with an initial assessment, cognitive assessment, that includes testing 7 areas of cognition, as well as a physical assessment testing 5 to 6 areas, strength, balance, coordination, things of that nature. We will start, we'll take questionnaires, nutritional questionnaires, metabolic, vascular questionnaires, as along with other questionnaires. We take it back to the scientific advisory board, and then we develop an individualized care plan based on that assessment, the results from that assessment. And then that care plan lets us know whether you should come 2-3 days a week, or you can come 5 days a week.
So your goal, though, let's say someone comes in there, they don't have a specific thing wrong with them. What is your goal? How will you know that you have made a difference?
Our goal is to engage and make someone's life, the quality of life, better.
So they're going to be more positive. Maybe that's it. But also, you are a fitness person too. So I guess that's one thing you can measure, can't you?
Yes.
When they come in and maybe they're kind of slumped over, or they can't do as many things on a treadmill, whatever you have, and you can show them within a month or two a different person, can't you?
Absolutely. We can measure physical attributes. We can measure your demeanor, your behavior. If they come in and you're not feeling so well, we pick up on that kind of thing, and we change that. Our environment is designed to be fun. It's inviting. It's warm. It's friendly. You've been to the studio. You walk in and
I didn't want to leave. I want to get on some of those things, those balls and things that you have.
Right. It's colorful. It's engaging, and we make it fun. It's very interactive. We're very personable on an individual basis. So everyone that comes in, it's not your grunting, groaning big gyms. It's not the high intensity little niche gyms. It's specifically designed for the active aging community, the senior demographic, and we cater to them. We make it fun for them, engaging for them. I have one member, she was a bit on the negative Nancy side, and she came in for her initial assessment.
She should never have met you. Poor thing, she never.
And let me tell you, absolutely not. I whipped her around, and let me tell you, she comes in now and she says, "Oh, I want to impress you, Tiger." And that to me means everything in the world, because I have changed her. Yes. I've changed her attitude from negative to positive in a 2 week span. 2 weeks time. She's been a member for 2 weeks.
Now, do the members kind of get together at all? Or I know you do this on a personal level, but do you have some who are still doing things while other people are there? How does that work?
Absolutely. And that's one of the pillars of our program, is the social engagement. We have members that have come in, and now they've been made friends. And a lot of times that age demographic tends to regress and not do as many social activities for whatever reason.
Stay at home, watch TV.
Absolutely. So that social engagement, just getting there, is part of the social engagement. Not to mention our classes are meditation, Tai Chi, yoga, our water aerobics.
Oh, wait. You didn't tell me about these things. Wait, when I was there, what do you mean? Where do you do water aerobics? There at the pool?
Yes, ma'am. Across right across from the back door.
Right. And Tai Chi?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my goodness.
Tai Chi, yoga, meditation, all very, very good for coordination, balance, just bringing your stress levels down.
I'm looking at some of this stuff. Yeah, I thought I saw that. Wow, that's really great. So you're really going to put them, and probably next year you're going to tell me you're going to have them boxing.
We actually do.
I knew you were going to say that.
We actually do have boxing. We actually do boxing, and boxing is very, very good for balance, coordination. And let me tell you, sometimes we have members that come in and they're a little irritated or agitated with whatever, and they come in and I'm like, look, you know what? Put a pair of boxing gloves on. Let's go. And I have the mitts, and we box back and forth. And let me tell you, 5 minutes. They go 2 or 3 5-minute rounds, and the difference in their attitude when they're done is night and day. night and day, and they love it. And we're talking, my youngest member is 75 years old. We have members 91, 92. So they all get involved. They all do to their level. And then that's what I'm coming, and I push them to do things that they might not, think of, or they might not be too keen on doing. And I encourage them to do it. Encourage them to put on boxing gloves or get on the rower, which is a no impact cardio exercise which is an amazing exercise for that age demographic. There's absolutely no impact on the body.
No water, just rowing.
Just rowing. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So next thing you will know, you're going to have him out on a rowing team. Well, you see, it's your motivation and your enthusiasm that's so infectious, and that's what's happening. But I also know that you do things with food. Let's talk about the diet and nutrition, because that's really important.
Absolutely. Nutrition, again, is one of our 6 pillars. And for everybody, nutrition is key to brain, heart, body health. So putting them on the right track at their pace is very, very important. We are partnered with the Mind Diet, which is specifically related to memory loss due to Alzheimer's and dementia. And it's a very easy diet to follow. Nutrition.
For example, give me my breakfast.
Eggs.
I love them.
Oatmeal.
I love it.
Oats. Rolled oats, nuts, berries.
Okay.
Over top of granola. It's lean meats, vegetables, green leafy vegetables, nuts, berries, less processed foods, sugar, reducing the sugar intake, reducing dairy intake, and again, the processed foods, the breads, the cake, those things, in increasing more, like I said, leafy greens, lean proteins, grilled fish, grilled chicken. It's not reinventing the wheel. It's things that are of normal diet.
Do you have them write down, do they all have diaries?
We do. We have.
Oh, see, I knew
we
that.
have nutrition logs, and we have them logged down. That's right. We have them log their nutritional habits, and it's a good way to get to know where their strengths and where their areas of improvement need to be. So, and then we work on those gradually. It's not, I'm not going to take that away from you. It's continually holding them accountable. I have a member, for instance, she's a little overweight, and that's one of her goals, is to lose a little weight. And so she asks, about we do the nutritional coaching with her, and she'll come in and ask, what would you have if you were going here? And so I will tell her, I would have this, or I would have this. And then, she'll go to leave, and I'll say, okay, make good choices. And she comes in the next day, and it's like, oh, Tiger, I did this. This is what I ate. And it's that accountability. They want to do good. They want to do better. And I'm there to help them do that. You're
a great coach. So what's going to happen then is you're going to wind up with a lot of members, because it's not like going to the Y particularly, where you have a lot of that kind of stuff, because there you're on your own. What I see here is you have really a personal coach, though, with a lot of knowledge in all areas. It isn't just, and we haven't gotten into with the computers. You have these beautiful up-to-date computers. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. No computer training necessary. If you've never touched a computer before, we can still take you on. You will still engage, and you will still get the benefits out of the program. It's very, very easy brain training exercises that we do. The plan is set up for you. You come in, you get started on your plan. You play 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the individual, of specific brain training exercises related to your needs.
Now, are these games? What are they actually? You know what?
Yes.
When I come, will you please let me get on something? So I don't have to ask you this anymore. One time I better come for a couple of hours. I want to get into some of them. I want to see what you do.
Technically, yes, they're
Okay.
games,
Okay.
but they're working on technical problems that you may or may not be aware of. Attention, memory, thinking, and we have the members that are coming back to us telling us that it's helping them in everyday lives. Research has it that, the brain training exercises are not entirely supported, and that they're not really, the research is not there to say that they do help or they don't help. I can tell you, I see the difference. And I have members that have come in and said, it helps me remember little things like, did I close the garage door? It's helping me focus better. My peripheral vision when I'm driving, it helps me pay attention better to my surroundings. And for an active aging, for the senior demographic, those couple of things are very, very important.
Because that's right. When those things happen to you, you lose confidence.
Absolutely.
And every time it happens, you lose confidence. So,
and then you lose, and that's why a lot of people decide to lose social engagement.
Right. So worried well was a great idea when you said that, because that will make them worry. They may not be worried, and all of a sudden you call their attention to something. They say, well, that's what I saw on there. Well, maybe I should be doing something. And sometimes it's just teaching them tricks. Like when I go to the grocery store, I always park at a certain place, and I know when I come in. It's not that I have to remember it. It's a trick.
And that's the thing is our society has become so dependent on habits. And we're not training our brains anymore. You park in that parking space on habit. So your car is going to be there when you come out. So testing yourself, parking yourself somewhere else, and then
and then try to remember where I parked.
Absolutely. Making a list, make a grocery list or a to-do list, and then cover it up. See if you can remember it.
Oh yeah, I always forget it, leave it at home. So that's what happens. I do wind up, I go up and down the aisles.
Absolutely. So, like I said, really is paying close attention to all contributions to memory loss as we age. And not one over the other. It's all 6, very detailed. It's a very detailed, individualized program.
And the thing that's so important is for people to come and not be afraid. I'm sure it's very intimidating. It is for someone to say, oh, I better come. I don't think so. What are they going to find out? And so you have to get over that intimidation.
Absolutely. We have a member who is of the worried well. And she has said, we've asked, she talks about some friends going to lunch and whatnot. And we have said, why don't you invite them to come and tour the BrainHealth Club? And she said, oh, no, I don't want them to know I'm doing this.
Oh, no.
And
See?
I said, well, listen, you don't have to tell them that you are worried. You don't have to tell them that you're having a problem. She came to us because she was having memory issues. And I said, you don't have to tell them that. You can come because you're just concerned. You're worried. You're part of the worried well. I'm part of the worried well. So we're in the same boat.
So, and it's a club that they've joined, and you have so many other things. They could talk about the food and all. See that she's afraid that, I can understand.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
how people are.
So, and now she
Did she
tells
ever do it?
everybody. She tells everybody about the program. And so the intimidation factor, when you walk in, like I said, you yourself have walked in, and it's warm, it's inviting, it's fun, it's engaging. And then, between myself and then the brain training coaches, we make it a family, a little family. So we take that intimidation factor out of it. It's just not allowed.
Right. And so, but I want to go back to this. Besides the brain training, which we know you do that on the computer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then you have the fitness training, and I saw you had balls there and you had all sorts of equipment. And then the diet. So you sit down with people and you try to teach them. Some people already know what they should be eating. Some people don't have the slightest. They're drinking soda, they're smoking, they're doing a lot of things. So those are your the people you really try to get to, I know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, we go at an individual pace.
Right.
So
you don't take everything away.
Right. If someone comes in and they're eating McDonald's 3, 4, 5 days a week and drinking soda pop and smoking cigarettes, we're gonna curb one of those at a time.
Oh my goodness! And there are people that do that, I think, don't they? Especially as they get older.
Absolutely. That age demographic that we're targeting, didn't have the knowledge and the training that we do now. So they're a completely different lifestyle, and their lifestyle habits are very, very different. So we want to start to change those habits, and as we age, things get more difficult. So we want to help them maintain and live a better quality of an older age.
And how about cooking? Do you teach cooking?
We absolutely do.
Oh, I was afraid to ask you that. I thought, oh no, they're going to cook you. They teach you cooking.
We do Spark Socials once a month, which can be nutritional or cooking lectures. Or a painting class. We do musical lectures or instrument, something with an instrument, teaching you an instrument, genres of music, some kind of social engagement where you're learning something new.
Well, Tiger Strout, I have to tell you, we have so much more to talk about. We'll have to save this for another radio show, but you've been listening to Tiger Strout, the exercise physiologist, director of fitness at the BrainHealth Club, and we will have Dr. Sadowski on another time. Be sure to come to this wonderful, wonderful, I will call it a seminar. I don't know exactly if it's a seminar, but it's going to be fun. Open house, that's what it is. And that's, of course, going to be on Thursday, August the 3rd, from 5 to 7, up there at the Morse Life Health System. But just write this number down. Call for information. It's 1-888-646-3496. Again, 888-646-3496. And thank you so much, Tiger.
Thank you.